Hi and welcome back to animating a drum using MIDI. In this particular section we're now going to concentrate on animating the Generation 3 figure so that it also syncs up with the MIDI file and also indeed with the MIDI drum as well. Okay, so first of all we've got our frame set to 30 frames per second, so each one of these is worth 30 as you can see there. And what we're going to do first of all is load using Casual Script. I'm going to do file run, so this runs this script here. I've used load text and I've loaded the MIDI file that's been converted to a text file here. That takes a little time to do that, and once you've done that you can start looking at animating the other parts of the figures. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose this hi-hat here. Now the hi-hat and the actual drum itself are both all linked up. So there's a function called master 1 that we're going to choose that allows the whole thing to be animated by one action here, which is very useful for us. So let's run this script. I've chose over here the hi-hat, and I'm going to go to the assignments part of it, choose channel 10 there. In the range I'm going to use the closed hi-hat. In the target property I'm going to use the master 1, add that item in, and then I press the assignments, and that then punches all the MIDI file data down onto the timeline here. Now I did exactly the same thing using the bass drum as well, because both of them together can be done in that mode. So let's have a quick look at the timing. If I open this up now and we look at the top, you can see that it's actually put down there the MIDI timings for both the bass drum and the hi-hat. So if I was to now come along here using the timeline, on the left I've started doing a bit of animation onto that one, so you can see they both work quite well. On the right hand side, if I now turn that around a little bit so you can see it, we haven't animated the foot yet, but we can see the timings are in the actual foot pedal. Okay, so that's how we're going to kick off. Now what we're going to look for, we need to get a note on position and a note off position. Now to achieve that we go to the 0 time part, so we're going to go right up to the end there. And the first thing I've done is position this foot so that in the start position that sits nicely onto the actual stand itself. The foot pits rest in there and the rest of the foot sitting nicely onto there. Same again with the pedal over that side. So there we go, that's the first bit we've done. Now what I'd like to show you, what we want to do is create two different positions. One for the note on and one for the note off. So with that in mind, I'm just going to choose a random point at the moment. You can see here I've got the hi-hat. Now we're going to go down to the Genesis figure here. As I said, I've used the legs and things to get this in position. So over here I've used the thigh, the shin and the foot and position that foot nicely onto there. Okay, in this case we don't need to animate all that. You can put a little bit in there if you so wish, but we're going to concentrate first of all onto this foot. Now where it is at the moment, it's actually what we class as the note off position. Now to get that information down, I'm going to show you how we do it. So over here, if we choose the left thigh there, we're going to use this keyframe here. We click on that and you can see it punches in from the thigh and the shin and the foot. It's punched in all of those time slots into there if you like. Okay, so let's go to another random position here and we'll use the left shin now. So we've used the left shin there, again punch it in, but you notice now it's coming down this part. So where we push this in is quite important. Okay, so let's do this one as well. We'll punch that one in there. So you can see I've got 3 positions, nothing's changing. The only thing is I've now created a time in space, if you like, for that leg and that foot and that shin there and everything. So that's how we're going to use the animation process. We're going to start using this keyframe here, and we're actually going to make sure the thigh and downwards from the thigh is all locked in. So I'm going to delete those for a minute. We're now going to pop over to here, and you can see I've started bashing away over here. So let's have a quick look at this for you. Open it right up. So if we now look here, at the moment this is the note off, and I've put here a note off position. So at that point I've used the keyframe there at that particular point at the left thigh position, and I've punched in all those times there. Likewise, if we go along to the end of this, you can see the MIDI is pushed the actual pedal down, and I've moved the foot now to that new position, and again from the thigh position I've punched in that part there. So now we've got the note off, the note on, the note off, etc, etc, etc. Okay, and now that's running in synchronization to the MIDI that we put onto the pedal. So what can we do with this? So this here is the timing for the left foot on the hi-hat. So what I'm going to do first of all, I've been copying this one, and we copy it using this one here in using the keymate function. And what I'll do is I'll bring the timeline so that it's either side of that, and you can see that's the first one. But what we can do now is we can use this to punch in the rest using this function, which is the paste. So if we miss that one, come to the next one, paste that one in, miss that one, go to the next one, paste that one in, and you carry on like this through the whole of that part for that MIDI file. I did try and copy blocks of this, but you can come a cropper because they may not exactly line up all the time. So just go along as I've done there. Now you can see I've punched all those in there. Now I'm going to use the same one here, that one there. So now I'm going to position that, so that's in position there. We'll come up to the top here, so that's this one. We're going to copy that one in, so miss that one, pop it in there. Miss that one, and pop it into there. Miss that one, and pop it into there. Miss that one, and pop it into there. Unfortunately, some of this takes an awful long time. That's why if I carried on doing this, it'd probably take me best part of the day to do this. Anyway, so that's that bit done there. We've got one more there that we're just popping for now. It doesn't actually take that long, but it is quite a lot of work. Now what we need to do is just check what we've done. So if we come back here and slowly go along that timeline, you can see that foot now is syncing up reasonably well with the pedal. Okay? As we go along. Okay, so effectively, if I started here, press play. Okay, that's how we've got the Generation 3's foot to sync up with the hi-hat pedal there, and I've shown you how to get the MIDI data onto that timeline. Now, obviously, if we open this up, you'll see that there's in fact quite a lot of work to do, and that's only a part of it. But as you can see, we can complete that task reasonably quick, so we can put this line down and that line down there, and then go on to the foot pedal using a similar function that we've just done. Anyway, that's how we synchronize up the MIDI file to the actual hi-hat pedal itself, and then the Generation 3 figure. So I hope that's some help to you. Thank you for listening. Catch you later on.